say you're pro-vaccine. Just want to ask some questions. And yet your organization is making money selling a child's product to parents for $26, which casts fundamental doubt on your usefulness. Say you're pro-vaccine. Just want to ask some questions. And yet your organization...
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. Look at that. Democrats questioning a Democrat. I mean, they have no mercy. Anybody who's affiliated with Donald Trump, they're just going to come after. Like, I mean, these people have known RFK for years. They were on the same side for years. You know, and RFK is probably still on their side on a lot, and in fact, I would say probably most issues. But they are acting like he is a nut job wacko that they've never had talked to before. It's crazy. I mean, what do you think, Chad? I mean, is that not just nuts?
Yeah, it's completely wacko. I mean, it's just anybody that's for Trump, whoever, it doesn't matter what Trump is for, they have to be against to please their radical left-wing communist base, basically. Mm-hmm. I mean, because these people are progressives. They're not Democrats. Progressives have to toe whatever line that the Twitter mafia is.
Mm-hmm. And again, these people are all millionaires. So, like, I mean, they don't identify with you. They don't understand your struggles anymore. They don't care. Like, I mean, the fact that Bernie Sanders is universally loved by people is nothing but shocking to me. The man has 3 mansions. He should not be a socialist champion of anyone. He's a profiteer. And we'll show you later that the reason he was questioning RFK, he was questioning on behalf of the pharmaceutical companies. Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren get the most donations from pharmaceutical companies. So if you're a left-wing socialist, that should terrify you. But no, you don't care because you're just like, oh, well, Bernie Sanders he's a good guy. He went to, I mean, we're talking about the guy that had his honeymoon in Russia. Aren't Russia the bad guys again now? Mm-hmm. Like, what are we doing here, folks? Like, now he doesn't like Vladimir Putin. He doesn't like the Russians.
Yeah, the democratic philosophy of the Russians are the bad guys when my political opponent is friendly with them, but if the guy that I like goes there and vacations and praises them all of his life, he's okay still.
Yeah, I mean, you have no leg to stand on. If you like Bernie Sanders, you have no leg to stand on when it comes to criticizing the Russia-Ukraine war. Whether or not you're for Ukraine or for Russia, you're just a turd. You don't understand anything. You don't care. It's all about political convenience and expedience for you.
Mm-hmm. Which brings us to our first video of the day, which is what our thumbnail is about, if you can see it. It's Make It Meme. It's just another meme review today, but it's fake news and AI-generated images, pretty much. And this meme has been going around the internet, if you can see it, if you're watching.
Yeah.
It says, a guy wearing a Latino for Trump shirt, 2024, is being escorted away by ICE.
Well, I mean, you know what's even more amazing about this is, it's not that image isn't fake. That is a real image. But that shirt has been photoshopped. So they're getting past the AI checkers by basically saying that, you know, it's like people, the only reason people could tell, like, this is a real photo. So if you put it through an AI thing, it'll say, this is real. But they photoshopped the lettering on that shirt. That's what's fake.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a real photo. And like I said, the problem is if it gets brought up in the algorithms, this will be the first thing you see. But if you find the original image, it'll probably just be that guy in a gray shirt, and that's it.
Exactly. So we'll watch this guy's breakdown of it real quick. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Latinos for Trump. All right. Well, I guess let's start the day off with this one. So a lot of you have sent me this image here. Police ICE seem to be arresting a man. Latinos for Trump 2024. I gotta admit, the Photoshop work is pretty good. It's pretty good. But my immediate thought was maybe this guy was wearing it in hopes he wouldn't get deported if he is, you know, here illegally. Kind of like when people put like the thin blue line on your car in hopes that when you're speeding, the police don't stop you. That's kind of where my mind went. But then I started my investigative work, and this is what I found. So I ran an image search, and it looks like there's already 466 hits for it. Some of them going all the way back to like 2021, which I'm like, man, how hilarious would this be if this man actually ended up being deported under Biden and people are using it to try to get one over on the current administration. But the earliest I found and the source for this was So this original image actually goes all the way back. This is the earliest I found. By an NPR, says ICE carries out its largest immigration raid in recent history, arresting 146. This is the original picture. As you can see, there's no Latinos for Trump. But of course, a lot of you were like, dude, what is going on? Now they're arresting like Latinos for Trump guys. And I'm like, nah, it's just people with the propaganda again.
Boom. Propaganda again. These people have no morals. They don't care. Like, I mean, like, again, we were talking about what this was Sam Harris. Like, Sam Harris, like I said, the atheist guy that wrote a book on why lying's bad, said it's okay to lie to keep Donald Trump out of the office. They have no moral foundations. They don't believe in God. They're not going to be judged one day. They just want to make sure their left-wing utopia is brought to fruition.
Yep.
They can lie, cheat, and steal to get what they want. We as Christians cannot.
Which I have a meme that's relevant to that a little bit later.
Yeah. So it's nuts. Anyway.
Here's this next one. This is hilarious. Theo Vaughn. A fan told Theo Vaughn their friend got deported, and this was his reaction.
Heard you got deported, dude. Bye. Heard you got...
I love Theo Vaughn. He's so funny, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a he's hilarious, man. That was awesome. Bye.
Oh man, and again, this one's just funny. I've been seeing these ones pop up everywhere. We've showed similar ones this already, but Democrats once again concerned about who will pick their crop.
Yeah, I mean, it's as old as time. I mean, seriously. I mean, they are the party that goes, we need poor, dumb people to do the jobs that we don't want to do. And they always complain about, well, we're for the working class. Clearly, you're not. Mm-hmm. Like, you're for immigration, but you don't care about the working class that's suffering here now. So it's all politics with you people. Like, it has nothing to do with a moral foundation, has nothing to do with principles or values. It's all about what's ever politically convenient at the time. This is an easy argument that I can make that makes me feel good.
Yep. And then there's this one right here, which you'll love this one.
What are you going to tell your child when they come home from school crying because their best friend was just taken out of their classroom by an immigration agent?
Adios, muchacho.
What are you going to...
That was good, man. God, that was the soup guy from Seinfeld, right?
That's right.
Oh,
That's
my
right.
gosh. Adios, muchacho. Adios, muchachos. Oh, my gosh. That was awesome.
And this one was great. So this is one from our buddy's wife sent us. So when they've been calling you racist for 8 years, only for you to be inaugurated on MLK Day.
Sucks to suck, BLM.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We'll start with these now. I'll go to our X account now. So, yeah, this is from Being Libertarian. The price of eggs during the last week, which this was posted a while back ago, but, you know.
Yeah, Bart Simpson's the left.
The left is just like all over it. Like, how come egg prices, how come bacon, like with that interview with J.D. Vance, how come bacon prices haven't gone down? And he's like, well, the cost of energy we have to get the energy down before the bacon prices are going to go down. And then it says the price of eggs during the last 4 years, and the left, you know, they're blind now.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong. Like, inflation's transitory. Inflation's a good thing. I remember the articles going, well, I mean, I remember reading those articles during COVID times and post-COVID times. Inflation's transitory. Inflation's actually a good thing, and why it's good for the consumer. They don't give a crap about you. They don't care about the truth. They're just going to lie to your face and say, here's poop, eat it.
Yep.
You'll love it. The media is complicit. That's why Trump's right when he says the media is the enemy of the people. That's why we started this show. Just, I mean, we do report on news, but we're more of a cultural critique show. But seriously, it's absolutely nuts what the media is just okay with. Like, I mean, the fact that you could write an article being like, inflation's good, and here's why. I mean, you'd have to be a retard to think that that's a great article headline. An absolute moron.
Yeah. Next one I have pulled up here is from Stone Toss. Oh, this vacation sucks. You see a goat right next to him. Bah. This is nonsense. Just take in the moment and enjoy the culture. And you can see that they clearly appear to be in some sort of Islamic country.
Yep.
He goes, France.
Yeah, this is why I say Stone Toss is such a prolific comic book or comic writer or political satirist. I mean, he's correct. France is not France anymore. France and the UK are they're becoming Muslim strongholds.
Yeah, which is why I have this next one pulled up right here. This is London right now. Does that look like a bunch of English people walking around?
No, that's
Canada. This one's Canada now. Now we're in Canada.
Peaceful protests in Canada.
İnanılmaz olaylar oluyor şu an Kanada'da. Ben de arada kaldım.
Folks, this is what you're importing into your country. It's not a good thing. I want our country to stay Christian. I want our country to remain and have the values that the founders wanted this country to have. Again, we're importing people to replace our current value system. They don't share our value system. Again, it's like the lie. All cultures are equal. Clearly not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the UK, the grooming gang situation, they clearly don't value children the same way that Christian ethics value children.
Yep. They don't. Like, whereas in the Bible, it's taught that, like, adopting children is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not.
Well,
in Islam, it's seen as it's not allowed. You're not allowed to adopt children in Islam.
The early Christians in Rome would go and rescue baby girls. Like, like whenever like a woman gave birth to a girl and the husband didn't, I don't want a girl, I want a boy. I want an heir to the household. They would put the girl outside of like the gated, they have gated communities in Rome.
Yeah.
They'd put the girls outside the gates and leave them. And the early Christians would literally take the babies and raise them. That's why Christianity spread so prominently through specifically female slaves in the Roman Empire, because it taught them that they were valuable. And again, Islam does not do that. They go, Muhammad wanted to hook up with one of his adopted son's wives, and he said, "You're no longer my adopted son. Get out of the house.
Correct.
I'm taking
and
your wife."
That's one of the reasons why like adoption is seen as bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if y'all remember, if you've seen the movie Lawrence of Arabia, that's why they didn't want him to take the two boys that kept following him around everywhere. They were orphaned children, and orphaned children are seen as not good enough to be servants.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they weren't allowed. They're like, get those boys away from him. you know?
It's a backwards society, man. But we'll get back to the memes. Sorry, I just wanted to. I like delving into history and why things are important. If you understand the past, you can understand the future.
Yep. Next one I have here is how English reports Islamic crime. Asian rape gangs and violent crime is on the rise. So then you see these
Middle Eastern
guys like terrified of these Asians right here. And then down here at the bottom, it's Asians have the highest test scores and the least violent group in America. And then they're doing their credit for that.
Victory walk. Yeah, I mean, folks, if we don't, the UK does not classify the Middle Easterners or Muslims or Islamic people as Middle Easterners. They describe them as Asian. Like, you should not do that. They should have their own subcategory called Middle Eastern. Asians, when you think Asia, what do you think of? Chinese, Vietnam, Japan, Korea. We think of Asians. We know what Middle Easterners look like. So, UK, cut the crap with your statistics and just do it right and say Asians are Asians and Middle Easterners are from the Islamic area.
Mm-hmm.
And so if somebody, again, it would also count to somebody who came from Israel. If you came from Israel, you're a Middle Easterner. You're not English or white. So, that's how it would be. Not saying that because that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's where you're from in the world, geographically locating yourself. But again, you cannot be informed about the truth if you're lying about the statistics through basically just going, Asia is the Middle East too. We all know that's not right. So keep going. Sorry, you have another one pulled up here.
Yes, the next one I have here is how basically colleges work, and this is a repost by Elon Musk.
Yeah, Reddit submodders.
Yeah, exactly. It's like happy, loved children, and it says creativity and intelligence, and it says college. Just jam them with information to become activists.
Yeah,
this is what we're
climate
training
change, BLM, activism. You're never going to be able to make it. I mean, that's what happens. Then these people just go and they self-destruct and self-implode. So yeah, that's a pretty good meme there. Mm-hmm. What are you looking for?
I was looking for that one yesterday that you sent me of that guy getting slashed at the subway.
Oh yeah, knifed in the head.
Was that Instagram or was that Twitter?
I don't know, partner. They probably took it down. To be honest
probably
with you.
did because I don't see it right now. But anyway,
But yeah,
I've got
so
one similar.
There
to
was
that.
one. Yeah, well, the video Chad's trying to find, it was like a guy accidentally bumped. So it was a white dude accidentally bumped into a Muslim guy's shoulder, and the guy literally
pulled out a knife,
stopped, turned and looked at him, and the guy just kept walking because it just grazed his shoulder. You know, not a big deal. But he pulled out a knife, walked up behind the guy, stabbed him in the head, then walked away. The guy didn't die right there, but he put his hand on his head because he didn't. You know, again, you get stabbed, you don't know that you've been stabbed. You just know that you got hit in the head with something.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nuts. It was one of the crazy. And Chad was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah,
to that. Yeah. He didn't even know. He thought he just hit him.
Yeah.
Like I was like, he clearly had a knife right there.
yeah.
All right. This next one that I have pulled up here is Chuck Schumer. Funding for law enforcement is now in danger thanks to Donald Trump. And it says EO clearly states, and this is of course what's it called
A memo.
No, not a memo.
Community note.
Community note. Yeah, I always forget what that's called. But it says, EO clearly states, this order does not apply to military personnel of the armed forces or positions related to immigration enforcement, national security, or public safety.
Dude, community notes is so awesome. Eat a big shit burger, Chuck Schumer. You've been called out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Executive order. Okay. Yeah, this one's great, too. I mean, as long as a bunch of Christian conservative types have been fighting against this, today it was my great honor, this is from Donald Trump, to sign an executive order banning chemical castration and medical mutilation of our innocent children in the United States of America. Our nation will no longer fund, sponsor, promote, assist, or support so-called gender-affirming care, which has already ruined the lives for too many precious lives. My order directs agencies to use every available means to cut off federal financial participation in institutions which seek to provide these barbaric medical procedures that should have never been allowed to take place. And again, everyone's like freaking out about this. Pretty much all of Europe has already said we're not doing this stuff anymore. It's been banned. The United States is the last dog to the bowl on this one.
Yeah, again, if this is what by liberalism you mean by freedom, I don't want that. Like, I don't want to butcher kids for the sake of progressivism. It's disgusting. It's wrong. It's evil. And way to go, Trump. Well, I'm so glad that you're my president, man.
Yeah. And this brings up this next one that I have. So you regret your transition? Yes. Well, maybe you should have made better choices as a child. That's basically what you're telling these people.
Yeah. I mean, again, and a lot of these kids are not doing it of their own volition. It's mentally unwell moms. Again, there's no limit to what liberal women will sacrifice. There's no altar. There's no pagan god or altar that liberal women will not sacrifice their children on.
To be the talk at the coffee pot or the water station.
It's like,
at the frickin' work.
I have 3 trans kids. Aren't I so progressive? Aren't I so beautiful? My family's so great. It's just, I'm so tolerant.
Mm-hmm. And speaking, this is the one I was telling you about, the one that said, like, these people who will use our logic and our, like, philosophies against us. Didn't Jesus say to love thy neighbor? And he's clearly talking to a Trump supporter wearing a red hat, and it's... He goes, and then the Christian person walks up to him. He sure did, neighbor. And then, get away from me, you religious freak. And that's what they do. Like, they're using your logic and morals against you to make you feel bad. That's exactly what's happening with this. People trying to make you feel bad for this immigration, like the people getting arrested and being deported. Like, I can't believe they would do this. That Jesus loved your neighbors.
If someone is a Christian, if someone's a Christian and you're criticizing another Christian, that's fine. If there's somebody who's not a Christian and they're criticizing you using Christian values, that don't listen to them. They're a bad faith actor.
Yeah.
Same goes for some, and we need to be the same way when it comes to free speech too. Like Tim Pool's this way. If someone doesn't believe in free speech and they're saying they're using free speech to justify their position when they advocate censorship of you, no, it's like, if you're going to offer censorship against me, I'm going to use your same position against you, but I'll advocate for free speech for those who want it.
Yep.
Like, it's only, again, it's always, I'll use free speech and Christian values when it suits me, and then when it doesn't, I'll throw all that out the window just to win.
That's pure evil.
Yeah.
That is pure evil. If you are willing to use other people's morals and logic that you don't believe in against them, that's evil.
Yes. Absolutely.
Here is one of them. Like, so this isn't the same one that we had the video of, but here is a picture of it. Germany is toast. A picture paints 1,000 words. As a Muslim stabs a German anti-Islam activist, police jump on the German, getting themselves stabbed by the Muslim he pins down in the process. Getting stabbed by the Muslim he was, helping in the process.
Yeah, stop right there, bigot. How dare you be intolerant of another religion? It's like, we know you're the one getting stabbed, but, and now police officer getting stabbed too. I mean, perfect. Way to use, you're done for, Germany. You're done. I mean, unless you just start deporting people like we're doing over here, you're done.
Yeah.
That's evil. Islam is an evil religion, and it's full of very uneducated, bad people.
And that's the problem, is like, it does not matter. If you are not Islamic, anything that they do against you is justifiable. They are the dominant race that are supposed to own the planet. Everyone else is just in the way.
Islam was the final revelation from God. Therefore, they should be the ones in charge and in positions of power, which is why these people are very angry because they don't sit at the apex of power. They're sitting there wondering why, if they were given the final revelation from God, why are we sitting in such a lowly position in society? Like, nobody wants to go to the Middle East.
Exactly. It's why the nation of Israel is so like a spit in the face to them. They are the smallest nation in the Middle East,
Yet the most successful.
and they are the most successful. And look at it from even battle tactic wise, they are so more powerful than them. They can wreck their whole armies within a day or in a week.
Mm-hmm. Again, we are importing. It's like Christopher Hitchens said this. It's like, do not trust these people. The people these progressives, they're going to be holding the gates open for the barbarians, which is what's happening right now. They'll be holding the gates open for the barbarians, preaching tolerance and peace as they come in to sack our cities and rape our women and destroy our villages.
Yep. And there's this one, because this is a follow-up from yesterday. Selena Gomez crying about illegal immigrants being deported. Everyone who watched that video.
Yeah, even people on her side were criticizing her because they came to the same logical conclusion I did. It's like, you're a billionaire, Selena Gomez. What do you mean there's nothing you can do? You don't know what you can do. You can help
house. Yeah, you could build like 100,000 houses for the amount of money that you have. Not great houses, like little tiny, like we'll say living conditions like the North Carolina.
She could fund lawyers or get people to expedite paperwork for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But she, again, I don't know what to do. I'm just a singer. It's like, get wrecked, little girl.
Now, we already did this one, but here's this one again. Like I said, liberals are just posting fake pictures now, which again, not completely fake. It's a real picture, but they've tweaked it.
Again,
this is why these AI generated stuff is going to be hard to figure out nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is why it's like, this is what a fact checker, like, if we still had the fact checkers around, it'd be like, fact check true, this is a real picture. And then they'd be like, addendum at the very bottom, but the lettering on the t-shirt's not real. But you wouldn't see that. It'd just say, fact check true, that's a real picture.
Mm-hmm. Now, I posted this the other day, and Elon Musk posted it as well. The number of genders, 4,000 BC to 2020 AD, 2. 2021 AD to 2024 AD, 73. And then present, we're back down to 2. And that's why I was joked. I posted this on, I think my personal page or whatever. I said, history will look back at this era and see what we've done with transgenderism and all the evil that doctors have done, like transing children and stuff, and look back and go, what was going on? History will look back at this era as monstrous, and liberals today are like, we are on the right side of history.
Well, yeah, again, it's like Hollywood now. They'll just rewrite history, and they'll just say, no, this is not what it was like. Again, how does Hollywood, you remember watching that movie The Majestic with Jim Carrey and Woody Allen's movie, where basically they all say that McCarthyism was the worst thing that ever happened to America. Let me tell you this, guys. McCarthy caught communists. Sure, McCarthy might have dragged some people through some useless procedures and proceedings, but he was interviewing all the people that were associated with the actual communists he caught.
Yes.
And again, it's like that. My social studies teachers from high school going, it's not illegal to be a communist.
Actually, it is.
So, but again, it's just one of those things where, to them, it was humiliating. They had to go through that, and they're all socialist and communist sympathizers too. So. Of course, it was the worst thing in the world for them. My friend groups are being destroyed by this. Well, you were being funded and supported by the communist regime
Who
in
was
Russia.
actively trying to overthrow the United States government.
They actually had funds. Like they sent like what I think it was anywhere from $2 to $4 million a year from the 50s forward to Hollywood to put into propaganda for movies.
Yes, they did. Like
That's confirmed.
That's what the whole movie. What's that movie that the Coen brothers made? With Josh Brolin and
Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar, yeah.
With George Clooney.
Yeah, that's what the movie Hail Caesar's about. And there's a reason why that's like the first Coen brothers movie that was never nominated for anything, because it called out Hollywood for its bullcrap.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first movie that actually was like, this is what Hollywood was like back in the 50s. You had the cool characters like Josh Brolin, who were the more conservative type characters that were the hammers that went in and solved problems and took care of things and protected the studio. For good or for bad.
And the images of the actors they were trying to protect.
They were trying to protect the image of the actors because technically they owned the rights to the actors' likeness, and the actors couldn't go out and sell their images, doing personal photo shoots and stuff. And then you had the communist writers who were going, we're not getting paid enough. And we're going to fund and we're getting funded by the Soviets, but we want to send the money back so we can overthrow the government. It's like, and then the money sank in the ocean. Like, that was beautiful. I mean, it was perfect. They get Channing Tatum to defect back to Russia, and they throw him the money that they had been donated, and then it just sunk to the bottom of the ocean. And that's what you're doing with your money. You're just sinking to the bottom of the ocean when you fund communism.
Yep, exactly.
Might as well just burn it.
Exactly. This next one I have is, two gays clearly like, we just want to be left alone. And then it's two Christian conservative parents, apparently. Same. And like, look, it's like, this is what's happened. They're after
Satanic
your children,
story
parades,
time.
the story times,
Homosexuals, furries trying to get a hold of your kids. Like, your children are inundated with this in society all around you. Disney Plus, Netflix, like they're pushing all this crap through Hollywood and the media, and you just go, we just want to be left alone. Like, again, perfect meme. Stone Toss is the best political cartoonist around right now. Besides like Flash Kids, but they're not political.
Yep. Now, this next one is kind of like how we started the show with RFK. RFK absolutely decimates Elizabeth Warren. And remember, Elizabeth Warren has been paid the most out of anybody
by pharmaceutical
companies. And he's like, I'm going to go after and sue big pharma companies that have ruined people's lives. And she's like, no, you can't do that. And it's hilarious. So and people still think this woman's like a good person.
Yeah.
I'm asking about fees from suing drug companies. Will you agree not to do that?
You're asking me to not sue drug companies,
no,
and I'm not going to agree to that,
drug
Senator.
Companies as much as you want.
I'm not going to agree to not sue drug companies or anybody.
So let's do a quick count here of how, as Secretary of HHS, if you get confirmed, you could influence every one of those lawsuits. Well, let me start the list. You could publish your anti-vaccine conspiracies, but this time on U.S. government letterhead, something a jury might be impressed by. You could appoint people to the CDC vaccine panel who share your anti-vax views and let them do your dirty work. You could tell the CDC vaccine panel to remove a particular vaccine from the vaccine schedule. You could remove vaccines from special compensation programs, which would open up manufacturers to mass torts. You could make more injuries eligible for compensation, even if there is no causal evidence. You could change vaccine court processes to make it easier to bring junk lawsuits. You could turn over FDA data to your friends at the law firm, and they could use it however it benefited them. You could change vaccine.
He's like listing off like a whole bunch of stuff that sounds like that liberals would have loved.
Yeah.
More transparency and people being able to go after the drug companies that ruined their lives. What in the world is going on? This was like what Democrats like fought for like 10 years ago. What is happening?
I don't know. Well, I mean, RFK is still technically a Democrat, but, I don't know. I guess he's independent now, technically, because he ran on the independent ticket. But, geez. Again, I can't even listen to this anymore. Pull up that thing that shows how much money she gets funded by. Do you have that meme?
I've got it somewhere in here. I think it's closer to the top. Oh, yeah. This one's funny, though.
Brought to you
by
Pfizer.
Also, House Speaker stops to announce that this round of questioning is brought to you by Pfizer.
Oh my God, that's good.
Anyway, let me go up there. I think it's up closer to the top. This one again. I mean, we've already seen this one. Get the job or lose your job, Jack.
Get the jab or lose your job, Jack. And then again, we want to make people happy. So, I mean, that's the position of the government. Do what we say, not what we do. Yeah.
Bernie Sanders leaving his third lakefront property to go speak about the evils and wealth of capitalism.
Oh my gosh. I mean, again, if anybody's for Bernie Sanders, you should just be ashamed
Here
of yourself.
it is. Here's the one you were talking about right here. I really don't know. I really don't think they want to give me money. Big Pharma gave Bernie Sanders $1.5 million. Elizabeth Warren, $5.2 million from her. What do they call it? What are they called in Washington? The
super PACs?
No, not the super PACs. The people that the companies that have the people there that lobbyists.
The
lobbyists.
Yeah.
The lobbyists are paying her this money, y'all, and Democrats are defending this woman.
Yeah, they're defending Big Pharma. They're defending the COVID vaccines. They're defending these corporations that don't have to be transparent at all. Again, they were talking about Anthony Fauci's they're talking about Anthony Fauci having all of his statements, everything on his papers and memos and emails and stuff have all been redacted. Like, none of it's allowed to be seen because, again, it's all probably criminal in nature, which is why he got his sweeping pardons. So if he's got his sweeping pardons, he can't be prosecuted for anything he said. Why is it all still redacted? Because these pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know what they're doing.
Influx of millions of people. I mean...
Sorry.
No, you're good.
No, this was the one that we were talking about this morning, was like... This lady straight up says,
says the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, says the quiet part out loud, but
for a different country.
Exactly.
Mexico cannot cope. Not sure any country can, but Mexico can't cope with like a sudden influx of millions of people. I mean, as much as she wants to.
America can. These people are evil. Evil.
Yeah, America, you're a rich, wealthy country full of white people. You can handle it. Go. You got it.
Mm-hmm. We'll finish this one out.
Embrace them, to use her word, when they come back and make them feel welcome. It all sounds very nice when you're listening to it, but the reality of that is just completely unsustainable. A lot of these people have lived in the U.S. for decades. They have lives there. They have families. They're good standing citizens. So they're not in a position to just be deported and say like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to come back here and take a job making a fraction of what I used to make and go to my town where I don't have anything left, which is maybe it's been overrun by violence. I mean, it's unrealistic to think that wouldn't lead to a crisis. Why are their towns overrun with
violence? But when ours are getting run over by violence from criminal gangs, it's okay.
Yeah, America's got the infrastructure. They can handle it. Again, she even said it. Like, I don't think any country can handle 1 million immigrants coming over at one point in time. Oh, yeah, no shit, lady. Again, they don't care about you. It's like, I'm just advocating. Again, that's Al Jazeera. That's basically an Islamic, propaganda media corporation. And they have a vested interest in watching the West and America be destroyed. So, of course, they're going to advocate this kind of crap.
Mm-hmm. Then there's this. We've already talked about this before, but this is just a real American's voice talking about it.
Talk about salt in the wound, Steve. Governor Pritzker not only is not allowing these guys in the jail to get these guys, he just announced that they're able to change their names. They're getting driver's licenses and able to change their names so that they can hide more easily from ICE. These guys are traitors. That's what they are. They need to be held, arrested as traitors to this country.
I hope, and because I know this in the Palisades out in Southern California, you're having a red pill moment where a lot of these progressives now realize what they brought on themselves and how, when you see Bass and Newman, how disastrous, and they're not going to change. And you're going to see a lot of MAGA. I hope, folks, I know downstate Illinois is MAGA.
But they're talking about it. What we've talked about all the time is toxic empathy. This is toxic empathy. You bringing in people that we can't all take care of. I mean, it's literally your tax dollars are going to fund this. You wonder why taxes is going up. Prices are going up. A massive inflation of people is coming in that we have to take care of.
Yeah, and they're not productive members of society. These are criminals. These are people who are stealing, they're stealing your taxpayer dollars as well as robbing you in your local community too.
Yep. Then there's this right here. Daily Mail, I'm a proud criminal. Trans activists boast about illegally supplying cross-sex hormones to youth by ordering 4 times the amount of estrogen and testosterone blockers she needed to be redistributing them, can't talk today, for medication for free to kids.
That's what evil looks like right there, folks. Toxic empathy. Remember, we live in the age of affirmation. Affirm my identity. Affirm my gender. Affirm my sin. My sin's okay when I do it. So, again, we're in the age of affirmation. It is disgusting. It is wrong. It is evil. And, we have to catch these people. I mean, that woman deserves to be in jail. She should go to jail for life. I mean, you can't even throw away your, like when your grandparents die. I mean, you can't even throw away or give away that medication that way, what they're doing. I mean, like you can be prosecuted for it, taking those medications and not giving them back to like a proper what do you call it, like a medical professional or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's nuts.
Yep. And then this last one that we'll
Pharmacy.
probably do before we
That's what I was saying.
Yep. This last one I'll probably do before we wrap it up is the most absurd. What's the most absurd medical bill you've ever received? And then best comment from Derika Klaus: my annual tax bill for other people's health care.
No shit. Again, you're not going to get good government health care, folks. The only people who should get government health care are military service members.
Yep.
For their service, and that's it. Like, I mean, you don't get free government health care just because you're poor and make bad decisions with your money. Mm-hmm. That is a job for the church and for charity, and not government funded charity either.
Yep. And this next one here, I forgot about this one. SKS Cartoons again, who's another great political satirist, and Trump ironing out the Lake and Riley Act, or chiveling out, I should say, and then the Democrats spitting on it.
Yep.
Spitting on her legacy.
Yep. They don't care.
Ridiculous. Oh, this one right here. If you enter a building illegally, you must face the consequences. Why are you deporting people that entered a country illegally? That's democratic logic for you right there.
Exactly. Again, you run the same logic back against them. They go, but these are people and there are no borders. There's no such thing as an illegal person. They'll make up any justification. Like, again, rules for thee, not for me. Or my politics.
Yep, 100%. Ending indoctrination. Oh, yeah, this one's just weird. A U.S. advisor flew to the UK to assault a child is jailed. This guy was part of the Obama administration. Senior advisor for the Obama White House. Why is it that all these Democratic officials are all being arrested on child assault charges? It's like the Democrats have like a
vested interest
in assaulting children.
Well, I mean, it's again, we're still missing 225,000 of those kids. Like, they only found 775,000 of those illegal migrant children. I mean, they're just locked up in some Democrat basement or somebody's, or some Hollywood elite's basement.
Mm-hmm. Some Diddy party basement.
Yeah.
Next one is hilarious. CNN guest says women won't have berries for smoothies if immigrants are deported. So again, who will pick our crops? Democrats. Yeah. Who will pick our crops if we don't have this slave labor?
Illegals deported, liberal white women most affected.
Yeah, which brings up this one. It's like basically like all the Democrats mean. It's like with the Pizzagate. Remember the guy that wrote the article for Pizzagate has found that he has child pornography on his computer?
The anti-pizza, like, people were freaking out about the Pizzagate stuff because they're using coded pedophile language in these emails to high up officials in the government. Mm-hmm. And then the guy who wrote the article going, it's all nonsense, it's all fake, was convicted of child rape and having child pornography.
Yep.
Well, you don't think that guy has a vested interest in making sure that people think this story is a nut job? You don't think he was a fact checker going, hey, by the way, there's no cabal of government elites molesting children.
Because I said so.
Because I said so. Someone who does that very thing that I say we're not doing.
Yeah. Which is why this meme is so good. It's like this guy that's an LGBTQ, trans activist right here. Priests are pedophiles, and it's this Chad priest. Mm-hmm. And then it says 2 months later, he's being arrested for having child pornography.
Good. Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect meme.
Said FAA turned away qualified air traffic controllers solely based on race.
Guys, whenever
Washington Times.
Whenever planes start crashing and people start dying, blame the hiring practice of the airports, because it's going to get bad. It's going to get bad because you're going to have somebody in there who's not used to being air traffic control for that many planes on that big of a. I mean, imagine if it was nothing but DEI appointees and the air traffic controllers at like Atlanta Airport, where it's like the biggest, most crowded airport in the world, and it's just like, we got a bunch of unqualified DEI hires in here who are freaking out because they're, you hold on, Mr. Pilot, I'm dealing with another plane. I'll get back to you in a minute. It's like, this guy's like, I'm out of fuel. We got to land now. Well, somebody else is in front of you. Sorry, sir.
Yep, that's why this next one's also funny. A group of women sued Google, claiming it underpays women, forcing Google to do an analysis which found that it actually underpays men, likely the result of intentional efforts by Google. Congratulations, you played yourself.
That's awesome. Yeah, men sue Google. Get your money back.
Yep. Next one here. This I just thought was great. This Spider-Man in the elevator scene from Spider-Man.
Yep.
I think it's
Spider-Man
2 or 3 or whichever one. It says, "I'm non-binary." Didn't you hear me? I said I'm non-binary. I didn't ask.
I didn't ask. Yep, so true. It's they go, just leave us alone. It's like you're the ones shoving your identities down our face. You're the ones dressed up like prostitutes with nothing on in underwear in public, gallivanting around in front of kids. It's like, affirm me. You know, it's like I just want to be left alone. Clearly not. You're out in public acting like an idiot.
Yeah. This one's from Dr. Malalouf. I don't know how to say this guy's name. It says, these refugees lost their passports and IDs, but somehow managed to keep their phones and cigarettes. Fascinating.
That's a big brain take right there, doctor. No kidding.
Yeah, oh, we already did this one, but I still love this. This is the best. Like, said get arrested for illegally entering a federal building, but getting deported for entering a country.
Put those
illegally.
J6ers away for life, but make sure those illegals keep coming over.
Oh, here this is again, and this is from Open Secrets. Said top 20 members recipients of money from pharmaceutical companies 2019 to 2020. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Mark Kelly, all Democrats. Who would have guessed? Now, Bernie Sanders says he's independent, but we all know he's a Democratic shill.
He's a Democratic shill, yeah. He caved and kowtowed to the party.
Yeah, more just violent crimes in Chicago. An old man, 63-year-old man, found tied up and duct taped in his basement in Chicago. The two primary suspects are illegal aliens in a sanctuary city. Who would have guessed? Oh, man. We've already done all
probably
these.
about it.
Is the cure to male loneliness receiving a letter of mock to go hunt drug cartel kingpins with the boys?
It would be. It'd be dangerous, but it'd be a lot of fun too.
But yeah, I think we're about ready to end the show. Let me go ahead and switch it back to this, and we'll go ahead and start wrapping.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anyway, just another Friday, or I guess not Friday. It's our Friday here because we're working Army stuff tomorrow, so we will not be here, nor will we have a show tomorrow morning. So this was our meme review today. We wanted to have some fun and try to keep it light. But again, even the memes that we're reviewing, it's pretty dark and heavy subject matter, despite us trying to have fun with it. So with that being said, I think that's about all we've got for you today, folks. This is the Twins with Owasso Live. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But I think that's all we've got for you today. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.
The worst week of my life. Barack and Trump sitting next to each other. Okay, y'all want to play games. Keep testing me. Keep on testing me. I need to hear what they talking about, but Doug is as dumb as he is deaf. This man is as useless as Tim's tampons. I need to hear what's going on. Barack got bigger balls than Michelle for doing this to me. Maybe I'm just overreacting. Alright, Kamala, it's game time. Pretend to read and just try to focus on what they say. Maybe Barack is telling him off. Maybe you got this all wrong. I bet he's telling him we can't wait to lock his ass up. You tell him, Barack. Is he giggling? So first I gotta tolerate the Benghazi bitch getting the Medal of Honor, and now this? Alright, you know what? Y'all are already on thin ice. If one person says one more damn thing to me, I swear to God. Oh, the power couple is here. Of course Jill sits next to me. Alright, Kamala. If she says some shit to you, I just gotta be graceful, right? I gotta be a joyful warrior. Ooh, bitch, you got me fucked up. Jill, I will unburden you. I will unburden what has been. I will unburden...
Whoever did this voiceover deserves a Medal of Honor.
Well, this guy...